To see Moscow's top attractions, follow this 4 days itinerary. With 4 days you don't have to rush but can visit the major attractions like Moscow Kremlin, St. Basil's Cathedral and the Pushkin State Museum of Fine Arts as well as other sites. See how you can fully enjoy your 4 days stay in Moscow as you make your way through places like Gorky Park. This itinerary will give you a good general overview of all aspects of Moscow. Day 1 starting from Red Square through the St. Basil's Cathedral and ending at the Diamond Fund. Start time: 9:30 Red Square. Duration: 45 minutes. Red Square is a city plaza in the Russian capital of Moscow and is widely considered to be the central square of the city. The square derives its name from the Russian word krasnaya, which means both beautiful and red. Contrary to popular misconception, the word red is not symbolic of the red color buildings here or from the perceived association of the color red with communism. Red Square has a significant history behind it and is believed to date back to the 16th century. Red Square is full of buildings of immense cultural significance. Lenin's mausoleum is one of the most prominent landmarks here. 0 km. 1 minute walking start time, 10:15 Lenin's mausoleum. Duration: 45 minutes. In the heart of Russia's capital city, inside the famous Red Square is what is called Lenin's mausoleum, which is essentially Lenin's tomb where the remains of the USSR leader Vladimir Lenin currently rests. His body was moved here not long after his death in 1924, and has been preserved and put up for public view. 0.2 km. 3 minutes walking start time, 11 o'clock St. Basil's Cathedral. Duration: 1 hour and 30 minutes. The Cathedral of Vasily the Blessed, commonly known as St. Basil's Cathedral, is an Orthodox church in Red Square of Moscow, and is one of the most popular cultural symbols of Russia. The building, now a museum, is officially known as the Cathedral of the Intercession of the Most Holy Theotokos on the Moat, or Pokrovsky Cathedral. The original building, known as Trinity Church and later Trinity Cathedral, contained 8 chapels arranged around a 9th, central chapel dedicated to the intercession. A 10th chapel was erected in 1588 over the grave of the venerated local Saint Vasily, Basil. 1.1 km. 14 minutes walking start time, 12:45 Moscow Kremlin. Duration: 1 hour and 30 minutes. The Moscow Kremlin Museum is not to be confused with the complex, the Moscow Kremlin, which is essentially the official residence of the Russian president. The museum also has the same name, but it is actually situated inside of the Moscow Kremlin complex. This museum has a humongous collection and is home to over 60,000 artifacts and exhibits. Most of these exhibits are of a cultural, artistic or historically important nature. 0.2 km. 2 minutes walking start time, 14:15 Kremlin Armory. Duration: 1 hour. The Kremlin Armory Chamber is one of the major attractions in the Grand Kremlin Palace's complex. It is a part of the Moscow Kremlin Museums and is located in an impressive mid-19th century building constructed by Konstantin Thun, one of the famous architects of the time. Some of the notable attractions include remaining treasures from the Kremlin cathedrals, monasteries, the Patriarch's sacristy, and private collections. .3 km. 4 minutes walking start time, 16:20 Diamond Fund. Duration: 1 hour. The Diamond Fund is a collection of artifacts such as diamonds, natural nuggets, precious stones and jewelry items. The collection is well maintained and is open for public viewing. This collection goes back all the way to 1719, which is when it is said to have been founded by the Emperor Peter the Great. Day 2 starting from Cathedral of Christ the Savior through the Pushkin State Museum of Fine Arts and ending at the Mikhail Bulgakov Museum. Start time: 10 o'clock Cathedral of Christ The Savio Duration: 1 hour. Located just blocks away from the Kremlin to the southwest is an Orthodox cathedral known as the Cathedral of Christ the Savior. The construction of this gargantuan cathedral came to an end in 1997. This building holds the record for being the tallest Orthodox Christian church anywhere in the world. It stands tall at a height of 103 meters. .5 km. 6 minutes walking start time, 11:05 The Pushkin State Museum of Fine Arts. Duration: 2 hours. The Pushkin State Museum of Fine Arts is the largest museum of European art in Moscow. Located in Volkhanka Street, just opposite the Cathedral of Christ the Savior. The international musical festival Sviatoslav Richter's December Nights has been held in the Pushkin Museum since 1981. 1.5 km, 20 minutes walking start time, 1325 State Historical Museum duration, 2 hours. State Historical Museum is located between the Red Square and Manege Square in Moscow. The museum has a vast range of collections including prehistoric tribal items. It is believed that the museum is home to over 1 million artifacts. State Historical Museum stands on the site of a former principal medicine store. The museum was founded in 1872 and has worked towards promoting Russian history and heritage. 2.4 km, 19 minutes by public transport start time, 1545 Mikhail Bulgakov Museum duration, 1 hour and 15 minutes. This museum is basically the apartment where the celebrated writer Mikhail Afanasyevich Bulgakov lived. Many parts of his novel, The Master and Margarita, is also based on this apartment. It has now been converted into a museum to give you an insight into this writer's life and works. Day 3 starting from Poklonnaya Hill through the Gorky Park and ending at the Tretiakov Gallery. Start time: 9:30 Poklonnaya Hill duration, 1 hour. Poklonnaya Hill used to be one of the highest spots in Moscow and is now home to several tourist attractions such as Victory Park. The hill offers stunning panoramic views of the Russian capital. Victory Park, located on the hill, was envisaged as part of an open-air museum to commemorate the Russian victory over Napoleon. 7 km, 21 minutes by public transport start time, 10:50 Novodevichy Convent duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Novodevichy Convent is one of the best-known cloisters in Moscow. It is also known as Bogorodiцы Smolensky Monastery and has remained intact since the 17th century. The convent has several historically significant buildings. The Smolensky Cathedral is one of the oldest structures here. The cathedral is dedicated to Our Lady of Smolensk and features 6 pillars along with 5 domes. The cathedral is adorned with frescoes of the highest quality. The building was earlier surrounded by 4 chapels. The convent has several other churches as well. Most of these churches date back to the 17th century. 4 km, 21 minutes by public transport start time, 12:40 Gorky Park duration, 1 hour. Gorky Park is one of the first and, till date, one of the most popular parks in the Russian capital city of Moscow. The park is located in the heart of Moscow and it is named in honor of Maxim Gorky, who was a celebrated writer and a political activist. This park is thoroughly enjoyed by the public. Activities that are popular here include cycling, skating, playing sports, and even urban and extreme sports. 0.3 km, 4 minutes walking start time, 1345 Garage Museum of Contemporary Art duration, 2 hours. The Garage Museum of Contemporary Art, also referred to simply as the Garage Museum, is a privately funded art gallery in Moscow. It was founded by Dasha Zhukova and Roman Abramovic as the Garage Center for Contemporary Culture in 2008 and was renamed on the 1st of May 2014. As well as providing permanent collections and changing exhibitions, the museum also operates as a research center. It has archives relating to Russian contemporary art from the 1950s. 2.7 km, 19 minutes by public transport start time, 1605 Tretiakov Gallery duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Tretiakov Gallery is officially known as the State Tretiakov Gallery and it is located in Moscow. The gallery is considered to be one of most prominent depositories of Russian fine art. A major portion of the gallery's collection came from a wealthy Moscow merchant Pavel Mikhailovich Tretiakov. The facade of the gallery building is built in Russian fairy tale style and was conceived by Viktor Vasnetsov. Day 4 starting from Gum Department Store through the Aptekarsky Ogorod Botanical Garden and ending at the Memorial Museum of Cosmonautics. Start time: 10 o'clock Gum Department Store duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. The Gum Department Store is the biggest shopping complex in the capital city. This shopping mall gets its name, Gum, from the abbreviation of the Russian translation for State Department Store. However, the name has officially changed since the USSR days, and it is now called the Main Department Store. The mall was originally constructed in the 1890s and at that time it was considered to have one of the most exquisite and unique interiors. Prior to the construction of the mall, the site was occupied by some upper trading rows. 1.4 km, 18 minutes walking start time, 11:45 Cathedral of the Archangel duration, 45 minutes. The Cathedral of the Archangel is a Russian Orthodox church dedicated to the Archangel Michael. It is located in Cathedral Square of the Moscow Kremlin in Russia between the Great Kremlin Palace and the Ivan the Great Bell Tower. It was constructed between 1505 and 1508 under the supervision of the Italian architect Aloisio the New on the spot of an older cathedral, built in 1333. Now it also serves as a part of Moscow Kremlin museums. 2 km, 25 minutes walking start time, 12:55 Museum of Soviet Arcade Machines duration, 1 hour. The Museum of Soviet Arcade Machines is a private historical interactive museum that keeps a collection of arcade machines that were produced in the USSR from the mid-1970s. April 13, 2007 is considered to be the foundation day of the museum. Visitors of the museum are given 15 Kopek coins at the entrance to get the arcade machines started. 2.5 km, 19 minutes by public transport start time. 14:15 Aptek Arsky Ogorod Botanical Garden duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Among some of Moscow's first and oldest gardens is none other than the Aptekarsky Ogorod Botanical Garden. What really makes this an attraction that is worthwhile is the fact that some of the trees that exist here are the oldest of their kind, and you can probably not see these specimens anywhere else in the world but here. For people interested in botany, fossils and just general flora and fauna, these gardens are highly recommended. 5.1 km, 25 minutes by public transport start time, 1610 Memorial Museum of Cosmonautics duration, 1 hour and 30 minutes. The Memorial Museum of Cosmonautics, also known as the Memorial Museum of Astronautics or Memorial Museum of Space Exploration, is a museum in Moscow, Russia, dedicated to space exploration.